Hello. Today with the tutorial for Autodesk Fusion, we're going to create a drink coaster with a picture or a symbol of a smiley emoji face on it. I think you'll like it. It's pretty simple and it's a pretty good one. So let's get started. I've already obtained a picture of a graphic of a smiley emoji face. So we're going to go ahead and insert that graphic. And here we go to the insert menu and go to canvas. So canvas. I'm going to here say insert from my computer. I'm already in that directory where I'm going to have the smiley face open. And for the face, I'm going to select this plane and hit OK. We don't want to scale this canvas right now necessarily. We'll scale the geometry later to the right size. So let's fit that to screen. I'm going to now want to put a sketch here. Sketch, select the same plane for the sketch, fit the view. Okay, now in order to trace out this 2D graphic with the shapes that I want, I'm going to use the spline function. Go to create spline and use the fit point spline option. I'm going to start with the left eye. I'm going to click here with the left mouse button. Then I'm going to slowly move around the circle, clicking with the left mouse button, or the eye, move around the eye edge. This. And it'll you can get bigger spaces. It'll naturally select the curve. It'll fit to it, but you don't want to get too far in the spaces, otherwise it won't capture it. Spaces between the points. Moving around, just kind of stay close to the edge. Doesn't have to be perfect, but pretty close. You won't be able to tell the slight discrepancies in the 3D print, probably. Let's move to the other eye. Moving around. And close it. Make sure you close these splines with the first point you created, and that gets a nice closure to the line. And escape click away here. You see we have these two selectable eyes now as areas. I'm going to do the mouse by hitting the line again. Curves a little off, but that's okay. It'll look fine. Won't be able to tell the difference there. We'll get a little further away in the points. You can always edit these points later too. I see one that's kind of a little further off than I'd like. I'll close this first. Because if you don't close it, you might have to redo start the spline over again. I see this point is a little far off, so I'm just going to left click that as it's highlighted, and I'm going to shift it in a little bit. And I saw that shifted this one a little bit. Let me try to get that one. It's close. It's pretty close, so it's good. And now for the circle, we want to highlight the edge of the print coaster. Gonna fit the screen here again. And here I'm just gonna use a 2-point circle. The 2-point circle option. I'm gonna select one part of the diameter of the inner circle. Now I want to make sure I select the opposite diameter where the circle lines up along all the edges and moving it left to right. Um, and the graphic it may be distorted slightly, and it's okay. Gonna get close. That looks about close. There, I created that one, and I'm gonna do the outer edge the same way. And I want to make sure I line up this opposite diameter left to right where it lines up across around the whole circumference. Click that one. Okay, so now I'm going to finish the sketch. And I'm going to toggle the visibility of the canvas now so we can see our sketch better. And there you have it. That's a sketch. So the next point would be to extrude this into a 2D or a 3D drink coaster. Um, And what we'll do there is we'll use the extrude function here on the menu. And I will select first all the areas for the whole base layer of the drink coaster. And I like to make drink coasters 2 millimeters thick. So the first section will be 1 millimeter thick. And we'll scale the diameter in a following step to get the right diameter for a drink coaster. Let me toggle the visibility on this body and retoggle the visibility on the sketch. Now for the next layer or next section, we want to raise the edge, the two eyes and the mouth above to show up, as raised on the drink coaster. Um, so here I'm going to raise this 2 millimeters, 1 millimeter to come up through the base of the drink coaster and another raised millimeter. And we want to make sure the first section is toggle visibility. So when we come over here for operation on the extrude and select join and OK, that it joins just fine. Um, and you have just one body here that you can toggle on and off. It's all one piece. Let's get rid of the sketch for now. And now the next thing we want to do is this drink coaster doesn't have the right aspect ratio of diameter to thickness. So what we'll do is we will first find the diameter of uh, we want to scale the diameter. So we'll find the diameter of this drink coaster the way we created it. So we're on the body uh, selection of the drink coaster. We want to right click here and select properties. And then on properties tab, you want to go to bounding box. And I can see that the length and width, the height is 2 millimeters, what we created, but the length and width just happens to be an arbitrary 17.481 millimeter. And that's both the X and Y axes. So we want to scale that to be 4 inches. The standard drink coaster is about 4 inches. So remember 17.481. So then we'll go over to modify scale, select the drink coaster. And I already had non-uniform selected here. The other option is uniform. You don't want to use that. You want to use non-uniform because we don't want to scale the thickness. That's the z-axis. But we want to use a ratio here to scale up to 4 inches from what it currently is. So I know that 4 inches is 25.4 millimeters times 4. And then I want to divide that by 17.481, the current diameter. And then we also want to do that in the other perpendicular axis for get the whole diameter all the way around. And we leave the Z alone. So hit OK. And there we have it. We have the geometry for the drink coaster. It has the right thickness and the right diameter to hold a drink cup. To better see that, we can also change the coloring here in Fusion 360 just to have a better view of it. We can right click the body again, select appearance. I'm going to use a black paint and a yellow paint. I first want to select bodies components here. I'm going to color the entire thing first yellow, and then I'm going to go to faces, and I'm going to select the black paint. I'm going to highlight these surfaces, these faces, so you can better see it, and hit close. Now that's more what I would plan to print this. I would use two filament colors, yellow first, and then put a pause in the printing for a filament color change, and use black then for the second millimeter of thickness. So the final step will just be to go to File, 3D Print, select this body, and then my options have already been selected here, but this is what I typically use, the STL binary. And when I hit OK here, I just save it to my computer and later use it, import the STL file into the Slicer software. But that's a drink coaster. It's a nice amount, Smiley emoji. A drink coaster pattern made from a picture. Okay, great. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye.